multiple concepts of intermittent fasting have spread the world. For the last 5 to 10 years, a lot of people came forward to promote the most incredible results they achieved by following an intermittent fasting regimen. From weight loss to preventing, and even curing some diseases, the list of claims is long and surprising. As one said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. In fact, science tried to keep up by digging further into this sort of diet, and a lot of research has been published around this topic. In this video, we'll summarize some of the evidence and reveal the 7 most meaningful benefits this regimen has on your body. But before we start, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're curious about science applied to health issues, and hit that bell icon so you receive the notifications every time we upload a new video. Intermittent fasting, or intermittent feeding, is simply related to the idea of intentionally defining time periods to eat and periods to fast. With that said, there are multiple ways to approach this. Some people choose to fast for a period of time every day, others fast 1 or 2 days per week. The 2-day fast became famous after the publication of the 2-Day Diet book. More recently, the 16-8 approach also became popular, meaning one would eat on an 8-hour window and fast the remaining 16 hours of the day. These can include your sleeping hours. The main idea behind this concept was that by fasting longer, we'd be giving our digestive system some time to rest and redirect our body's energy and resources to other functions. Plus, it seemed to help with weight loss. This approach to eating changed the paradigm of diets because suddenly the focus is not what you eat, but when you eat. As people started adopting intermittent fasting to their lives, claims of the benefits became wild. People were reporting not only major improvements on the digestive system and weight loss, but also all sorts of disease-related benefits, from curing diabetes to stopping cancer. Obviously, this is all anecdotal evidence, so we went ahead and gathered the proper research-based benefits from fasting. The first benefit of intermittent fasting is weight loss. As we mentioned, this was one of the founding ideas behind the approach, since by reducing the time to eat, one is more likely to intake fewer calories. However, research shows that short-term fasting also boosts our metabolic rate and enhances hormone function, helping us burn more calories. Fewer calories in and more calories out, it's the perfect weight loss recipe. Studies show that intermittent fasting can lead to significant weight loss, and also that it is better than continuous caloric restriction for maintaining muscle. The second top benefit of intermittent fasting is the reduction of insulin resistance. Since type 2 diabetes is a disease characterized by high blood sugar levels due to insulin resistance, intermittent fasting can help prevent type 2 diabetes. One study on mice with type 1 diabetes went further and concluded that intermittent fasting protected against kidney damage, one of the most severe complications of diabetes. The third benefit we want to talk about is one of the most promising. It's called autophagy. If you haven't heard about it, this is a cleansing process of the body at a cellular level. In simple terms, when we fast, the body starts to clean the damaged cells in order to regenerate newer and healthier cells. Why is this so promising? Well, think about cancer, for example. This is a terrible disease with multiple variations and complications, but the one thing in common is that there's something wrong at the cellular level, and it makes cancer cells grow wildly. In fact, some animal studies indicate intermittent fasting can help prevent cancer, and there's also evidence that fasting reduces chemotherapy side effects. Research also shows intermittent fasting is anti-inflammatory. And that's the fourth benefit. 2 studies using the Ramadan tradition as a proxy for intermittent fasting concluded it has positive effects on the inflammatory state of the body. Ramadan is a religious tradition that takes about a month and implies a daily fast of around 12 hours. This is extremely relevant as inflammation is being labeled the root of several diseases. These studies also reveal that fasting improves biomarkers of cardiovascular disease, meaning it improves heart health. That's benefit number 5. Intermittent fasting has been shown to improve blood pressure, LDL cholesterol, inflammatory markers, and blood sugar levels. An interesting trial with 16 obese adults following an alternate day fast, meaning they would fast every other day, for 8 weeks, showed this approach lead to about 25% reduction in LDL cholesterol, while HDL remained unchanged. The final 2 top benefits of intermittent fasting are definitely amazing. Although research is just scratching the surface on these topics and most of the studies are made with animal models. Our 6th top benefit of intermittent fasting is for the brain. Studies on mice reveal that fasting increased the number of neural cells in an area of the brain believed to be responsible for the formation of new memories and the exploration of novel environments. Scientists believe this happens because cells become more resilient and die less when mice fast. They also found that rodents subject to intermittent fasting regimens present higher levels of a substance in the brain called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. BDNF is shown to increase resistance of neurons to dysfunction and degeneration. This takes us to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Although this seems like a long shot, there are studies trying to link fasting with Alzheimer's. A study in rats showed that intermittent fasting can delay the onset of Alzheimer's disease or reduce its severity. Additionally, some case reports involving adults with cognitive impairments associated with Alzheimer's disease showed that fasting improved symptoms in 9 out of 10 patients. Our final top benefit of fasting is also a bold claim, but it has some scientific data to support it. Intermittent fasting can help you live longer. Caloric restriction has long been associated with increased lifespan in rats, but there are obvious difficulties in translating these studies into human trials. But fasting opens a new avenue of research, and it's easier to test on humans, since intermittent fasting seems to be easier to adopt for a long period of time than constantly consuming 50% or less calories. Studies in rats have shown that intermittent fasting extends lifespan beyond expectations. In one study, rats that fasted every other day lived 83% longer than rats who haven't fasted. In fact, although it hasn't been proved in humans, fasting has become very popular among anti-aging groups. The evidence is compelling since fasting seems to improve metabolic processes and a lot of disease-related markers. It makes sense that it helps extend our lifespan.
Please note this video is our interpretation of scientific papers. It is merely informative and doesn't constitute any form of advice. If you have any health issues or concerns, please contact your physician or licensed health professional.